So it's Benjamin Button, but without all the sadness.
I hope there's no sadness.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I would hope
There's
not.
no and also without a wrinkly baby.
Yeah.
Because there was a really wrinkly baby in Benjamin Button.
Yeah, it was weird.
Raisin baby.
Raisin.
Sun-dried
Brad Pitt baby. Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is The Anime Effect. Each week we bring you the latest news and views from the shows you love. It's pop culture with an anime lens. In case you're new to our show, you can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts, as well as on the Crunchyroll YouTube channel, on Crunchyroll, and on the Crunchyroll channel every Saturday night. We just made our debut. Please leave a 5-star review wherever you listen. And we'd love to see your questions and responses in the comments. Speaking of, today, for our main story, we're going to be answering your burning anime questions that have been coming in on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. And you guys did not make it easy for us. Actually, we did not make it easy on ourselves.
We kind of asked them not to.
We asked on like 18 different platforms. We've got some anime crossovers to consider and some emotional backstories to talk about from those questions. Mm-hmm. First, you know that we've got to get into the news. We're talking CinemaCon announcements, a new season of Kimi ni Todoroki to get excited about, and the final spring season updates to share with you.
Is it final though? Is it?
I'm your host, Nick Friedman.
It's me, LeAlec Murray.
And I'm Leah President.
And we are here, the three of us, once again together to see just how powerful the effect of anime really is. I know y'all saw the Eclipse this week.
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen with my human eyes.
Yeah, like I can't undersell that I think it was a life-changing moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes on to the the millennial time frame of like stuff happening.
Yes.
So
the stamp rally, the millennial traumatic stamp rally. Yeah, exactly. And at the end you get a reward and it's getting to see a total solar eclipse.
Yeah. So just, if you're a millennial, make sure you keep your stamp books out because I think there's going to be more.
What are you talking about?
I know. We're like 30 seconds in, we're like millennials, stamps. Like,
What's a stamp?
Leah.
Oh my God.
Leah knows what a stamp is.
I do. I love the post office.
we
love the post office here at the Anime Effect. Leah, I have to know where you were during the eclipse.
I was about 20 minutes north of here, which is crazy because isn't it insane that I moved to Dallas and then the craziest 2 eclipses happen in a row? It's almost like my vibe. Like
I think they're completely unrelated.
Vibe is just like,
I think they're so unrelated.
I think we actually.
I'm joking. Obviously, I'm trying to be annoying, but. But yeah, it was crazy. I went and saw it in a park, and it was so weird. Like as soon as it got really, really dark, you could hear the animals like changing, and suddenly the frogs were going, and it just sounded. Yeah, it was weird to see the direct.
It was so weird how like instantaneously it was just dark, and the entire environment around you just changed. So like around my apartment, usually like when I take the dog out, it's usually like, oh, you can tell like where the birds are and the squirrels are being active and yada yada. Yep. But as soon as the like eclipse happened, like everything just stopped. And then it was like, oh, okay. And then like when it was over, it was just kind of like, okay, back to business. So the squirrels were like, all right, I'm back.
The world was like, damn, I accidentally slipped into dark mode.
Right. Into not disturb.
I was about 2.5 hours east of Dallas. We stayed with a friend's parents who have some campers out there. And,
oh, nice.
Clear sky. I mean, it was cloudy, but it passed just in time.
Glamping. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, it was just incredible. Like the lead up to the totality was kind of scary.
Yeah,
like it felt freaky as like
because you could see the shift gradually happening. Yeah, as
the darkness set in, and then for a sec, the birds got quiet. Obviously,
I'm like, this is why the ancient Mayans were like losing their minds. Like, I get it. I'm like, because it'd be like, what in the heck?
Yeah,
if you didn't know it was coming, like
exactly.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it went dark, I think someone behind me said like, imagine not having a scientific explanation for this. I'd be like, yeah, exactly. I love seeing other people. I think Crunchyroll actually posted about the eclipse from Berserk.
They posted They posted a Berserk.
I was like, I appreciate this. I mean, I was trying to defeat the Fire Lord during the eclipse. Didn't work out. So, we gotta
It didn't work out the first time.
Didn't work out the first time either. So we gotta regroup and go back.
Gotta watch a few episodes of The White Lotus on HBO.
Yep.
One of my favorite things that came out of the Eclipse, like content-wise, was this trend going on TikTok of people doing domain expansion Infinite Darkness at the moment of totality. And I'm like, cool. You only have one chance to time that right.
You can only do this once, and you gotta nail it.
Or you could do it at the very end and just put it in reverse. Dang it, I missed it. I thought that was hilarious. Shout out to everyone who did that. It made me laugh. The Eclipse creativity on social media was great. I loved it. Anime is taking over Eclipse culture.
Yeah. Just add it to the list of everything else it's taking over. So.
In a second, we are going to be breaking down some CinemaCon updates from Crunchyroll, including the Blue Lock movie.
Let's go.
Yeah, Overlord, and more. Plus, the anime coming this spring that just got announced. We cannot wait to talk about those. So, all that coming up next. We're hyped to talk about CinemaCon, especially, there were a couple anime updates in there as well. So, Nick, if you want to start us off on some news.
The news has arrived fresh from the post office.
Is here.
We love the post office.
We do.
So Crunchyroll was actually at CinemaCon this year, which is really exciting. CinemaCon is kind of a big yearly event for a lot of distributors and studios to come and, show off what they got in their pipeline. But anime was there this year, which is really exciting. So Crunchyroll kind of came out swinging with 3 anime movie announcements. Sports anime fans, this one's for you. So the big one, the first big one is Haikyu, the dumpster battle.
I'm all about Haikyu supremacy right now.
It's coming. Crunchyroll announced that it'll be bringing that movie to theaters. Next up, Blue Lock.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Episode Nagi.
Yeah.
If you watch Blue Lock, he was definitely one of the characters where you look at him and you're like, I will kind of want to know his whole thing.
Yeah, definitely one of the standouts because Nagi, you only so the thing with Blue Lock is that they give you enough of the characters without giving you too much. But then Nagi was one of the ones that was just like, okay, I got to know more about this slacker kid that's just really good at soccer, and we get that chance. So
heck yeah, excited. I will definitely be seated for that one. Maybe I can catch up on Haikyu before.
That's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to catch up on Haikyu before Dumpster Battle because I got to know what happens to my boys.
Okay, so we got volleyball.
Yep.
We've got soccer or football, if you will.
Football.
And then the biggest sport of all, gaming. Hit the Isekai button. Crunchyroll is also bringing Overlord, the Sacred Kingdom film to theaters. So Eins Ulgon.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Eins Ulgon. Yeah.
Eins Ulgon.
Yeah. Yeah, you're there. Yeah,
okay. Yeah. So so the next chapter of the Overlord series, which is an isekai, is coming. Crunchyroll announced that it's bringing the film to theaters.
Yeah, I'm catching up on that one too. It's weird because I started watching it right when it started, and then for whatever reason, I was just like, I have 10 million other things to watch, so I just dropped. And it's weird because it kind of came at the time where isekai wasn't as dominant as a genre as it is now.
It was kind of that wave of. What was it? ReZero, Konosuba, Saga of Tanya the Evil. And I felt like it kind of culminated with Shield Hero.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they were all kind
sequels
of in that pocket. Yeah, and then they started getting sequels, and then the isekai genre as a whole started expanding almost infinitely to where we have multiple isekai shows a season now.
Domain expansion.
Isekai
in the dictionary. Isekai in Webster's dictionary.
Webster's dictionary defines isekai as.
It's a very specific domain expansion.
Yeah, it is.
To get words into the dictionary.
Yep.
But yeah, so lots of incredible anime movies are headed our way. So we will obviously bring you the updates as we get them.
Yep.
But that one's fresh as we recorded this.
Yep. So. It's like the bread you take out and it's like, oh, it's still hot. I can't do nothing with it. I got to let it cold.
It's the hot bread.
Yeah.
But I think what's cool about specifically these titles is kind of the fact that the season 1s of these came out in. There are so many eras of anime where
exactly.
There is sort of you had to be there moment to really catch the zeitgeist. However, every time one of these new movies come out, the old fandom gets ignited and then there's a bunch of new fans coming in and you kind of get to ride that community wave that like if you felt like you missed out on like like the Haikyu era or whatever.
You can kind of dive back in a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, you're catching up. Who said that? You're catching up? Yeah. I think that's just like a fun thing that happens in anime.
You bring up a really good point because like you think about Blue Lock, and that anime came out at the height of the World Cup. So like there was nothing like, oh, I gotta watch World Cup, but then also like Blue Lock is this week, and it's just this big swirl of soccer.
Yep. There was a straight line between the two.
Yeah, exactly. So and even like the Japan national team was like on this wave, like there's just this winning streak, and everybody, even if you weren't from Japan, was like rooting for the Japan team. So I mean, moments like that, like you said, the movies allow you to kind of reignite that, whether it's with the new or the old fan base. Yeah. So I'm actually really excited to actually see all three of these, plus Spy Family, which we talked about last week. So looks like I'm going to be at the movies a lot, but for anime. So
speaking of anime that premiered a long time ago, Blue Lock aside, that's coming back in a new way.
Oh,
this one's for Leah. Kimi ni Toroke, season 3.
Episode callback.
Has revealed its first trailer, a brand new visual, and that it will be premiering in August of this year.
Yeah.
Really soon.
And you need to add it to your rom-com corner because it is so cute. Just like an innocent, sweet love story. Awesome. School days love story.
So I know that it's been a bit since season 2, but I'm curious what you're hoping to see in this season. Knowing nothing about the show other than what you've described to me, I'm curious what you're hoping to see.
Man, I don't know. I think like maybe just more of the friendship dynamic. I think that was my favorite part of the show, was the main characters' friends and like their journey outside of just the romantic plot line. There was a lot of really cool like character backstories and things like that were really sweet and sometimes a little bit more interesting than the romance plot, like about like growing up and your feelings and feeling like an outcast or an outsider. And
did you watch Skip and Loafer?
No.
Okay.
But I really want to. It's so cute.
It feels like with the friendship dynamic, you're kind of describing Skip and Loafer in a way. So if you are looking for more of that, it's got kind of that kind of pastel chalk drawing like style.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
that kind of springy style. So if you like, I mean, I'm assuming if you like that kind of dynamic, that'll be a good fit as well.
Another thing I would draw a parallel to is like Fruits Basket. It has that kind of like, it doesn't have like the dark underside that Fruits Basket has, like post season 2 of like the new one, right?
Yeah. New Fruits Basket with some trauma.
Yeah. Or like, some of the ending parts of the old version. But it does have like that kind of ragtag, strange group of friends with all of these like interesting backstories that really tie and loop into each other with having that kind of like really wholesome vibe. So
awesome.
I think it'll be an easy watch.
I got another segue. You got to tee it up.
Okay.
Speaking of wholesome vibes.
Okay.
We got a new visual for Licorice Recoil.
Ooh.
So Chisato and Takina have kind of like a sakura tree visual that was revealed this past week.
Super cute.
But
it's sakura season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Cherry blossom season.
And it's exciting because this is kind of the first of the series that we've seen since it was announced that the anime would return.
Yep.
We don't know exactly in what form or when just yet, but I just forgot how much I missed this show.
I actually, so in the midst of me catching up with a lot of anime that I like missed, Leah, I know you were saying that you just finished Licorice Recoil.
Yeah, like a month ago or more.
I got to watch maybe like a couple of minutes of it, of like maybe the first half of
Isn't the
first
opening
episode.
Scene like crazy? I love it.
Insane.
What a great first episode.
Yeah.
So I actually like dove all the way into the series because I've been watching Nichijou and I was like, okay, I kind of need something to break up the weirdness of that show.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Shout out Yeji, who finally convinced Lee to watch it.
Yeah. No, I'm having a fantastic time with Nichijou. We'll talk about that at a later date. But Licorice Recoil, I think, because if I remember correctly, it did win Best Original. Was it last year?
Anime Awards 23.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's absolutely fantastic.
It is.
Like I can't say them, and it's weird because I've been watching both the dub and the sub. So when I'm not working, I'm watching the sub, and when I'm working, I'm watching the dub. But both casts are absolutely fantastic. The character dynamic is so great. I'm always a fan of an anime or any kind of show that gives you like a good like buddy cop dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Probably also because I've watched way too much Lethal Weapon in my lifetime. But I think it's probably one of the best action shows. Like when you're talking like new generation of like anime, probably one of the best like action shows that I've seen in quite a while, actually. Like it's weird because it gives off multiple vibes at one time. Like
it feels very original.
Yeah. Like at some point, like the episode where they're like going shopping together, and then all of a
slice of life moments.
And then you're like, oh no, we actually got to go stop this hacker. And they're like, bang, bang, bang. So it's
that episode was so fun.
It's so great.
The cast of that show, it's just, I can't say enough good things about Licorice Recoil. Like if you haven't seen it, it's an A1 Pictures.
The A1 Pictures jam.
Yep. So if you like Solo Leveling.
Yep. Or any of their work.
Any of it. Kaguya-sama, Sword Art Online.
A1 has been top notch for a really long time. So this just goes into the lineage of like really great shows that they've been putting out. Yeah. And whenever it comes back in whatever form it comes back, like I'm excited.
Yep. If you haven't seen the show before, it follows basically like kind of like a secret agent group of like all girl spies and / assassins that are basically protecting the world from nefarious deeds.
Nefarious.
In sometimes very questionable ways. And so the show deals a lot with like morality, humanity, obviously the relationship that Chisato and Takina have. Yeah, it's great. I can't wait for it to come back. I hope it's soon.
Yeah, same.
All right, y'all know what's next, right? It's your spring season update.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're still in that pocket, so I don't think this is gonna go anywhere anytime soon.
It's gonna be here all spring, guys.
We got 3 months.
True, but
be ready.
We will. No, yeah, you're right. Okay, so the big reveal this week from Crunchyroll is the awaited announcement of Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Hashira Training Arc.
Heck yeah.
So Demon Slayer is making its episodic television return with the Hashira Training Arc. It's going to be exclusively streaming on Crunchyroll starting on May 12th, and new episodes are going to drop weekly. I know the show is getting ready to get into some really exciting stuff beyond this arc.
Yeah.
So,
it's awesome we have so much language availability for it for the dubs, because when we were talking, we were like in anime award season, we're hyping up the amazing international voice acting we have. So really happy to see that.
Yeah. Do
you guys have a favorite Hashira?
Oh, do I?
So for those who don't know, the Hashira and Demon Slayer are kind of like the elite representations of their like fighting styles, their elements, their breathing forms.
The baddest of the bad.
Yes, the best of the best.
Yep.
So do you guys have a favorite?
I do.
Obviously Rengoku.
Good pick.
Yeah, Rengoku's the guy.
Best guy.
Tengen. Like he had,
oh yes,
he had not for the reasons that people may think, but
he had 3 wives,
right? Yeah, not for that, but for the fact that he was just like at the end of that the entertainment district arc, he knew he had to go for broke, and he had such a great moment.
Your options are great, but neither of you mentioned the objective best answer, which is Shinobu, the insect Hashira.
Oh my god,
Shinobu gang. In the comments.
Of course.
Bugs.
Love bugs.
Shout out to all the bugs.
Elsewhere in the spring season, got a couple of other shows that I wanted to spotlight as part of our update for this week.
Word.
So Grandpa and Grandma Turn Young Again, which is maybe my favorite title of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read you guys the synopsis. So after eating a mysterious apple from their farm, an elderly pair of lovebirds, Shozo and Ine, experience a miraculous transformation into their younger selves. Despite their newfound youth and beauty, the two continue in their cute senior ways. Witness an enduring bond that's stronger and more precious than ever before.
So it's Benjamin Button, but without all the sadness.
I hope there's no sadness.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I would hope
there's
not.
No and also without a wrinkly baby.
Yeah.
Because there was a really wrinkly baby in Benjamin Button.
Yeah, it was weird.
Raisin baby.
Raisin
Sun-dried
baby. Brad Pitt baby.
But someone tell Ponce de Leon it was really in the apples all along.
So Grandpa and Grandma Turn Young Again this isn't technically an isekai, right? Because it's just the same world, but they are returned to their youth.
I think like family anime, like wholesome family anime is really having its moment.
Yep.
Like ever since Spy Family came out, like I not that there's anything wrong with like warm, fuzzy, wholesome, but I was always like, I need an action anime growing up. I was like, I need action.
Yeah. Same.
You know,
you didn't have the palette yet for slice
like
of
I
life.
love shoujo and stuff, but like only if it had like some drama in it, you know. But yeah, I'm all for it now. Like Spy Family, Buddy Daddies, like.
I love, like, to your point, I really love, like, the slice of life is really kind of, we're seeing this ramp in slice of life.
There's no shortage, and I'm going to talk about this when we get into recommendations, but like there is no shortage of good slice of life anime right now. Okay, I have to ask before we move on to the next one. You can do one thing. You can change one thing if you are returned to your youth. What would you change?
That's a very deep question, sir.
Yeah, but I'm looking for a funny answer.
Do you want to know the sad one?
No, I don't want to know the sad one.
Do you want to know the goofball one? I probably would have learned an instrument sooner in life or another language sooner in life.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good pick.
Because I don't know why, like, it's so annoying. As soon as your frontal cortex forms, it's like... learning an instrument, like I'm learning to play piano right now, and it's so hard.
Yeah.
I just
your brain's
wish,
not as like stretchy and malleable as it once was.
Yeah. My firm brain. It's hard as a rock.
I know we've talked about this before, but I don't think we've talked about it on mic. But I collected like trading cards as a kid, like the superhero ones. Probably would have gone deeper into collecting, like as a kid.
Nice. Yeah.
With the advent of like, you know, Toys R Us disappearing and like places where you could actually like buy cards, I would have tried to collect more of the stuff that I loved as a kid. So
you'd have it now.
So I would have it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, especially now, you're trying to track down a lot of that stuff, right? It's just either it doesn't exist, or it's reprinted and it's not as good, or you look on eBay and it's like, you know, way, way over market value. So yeah, I think it would have been a little more of a collector, I think.
Okay. Y'all's answers were good, but I don't know that they top mine. So one time when my mom was driving me to summer camp when I was a kid, I ate a banana and a whole sleeve of what were then called shock tarts at the same time.
Wait.
And I threw up real bad. So if I could go back to my younger self and change one thing, I would not have the banana. I'd probably still have the shock tarts.
Oh, did that like shape you as an adult?
Anyway, moving on to the next one, which will conclude.
I remember these. Okay, I'm looking at them. They come in the same sort of thing as like a Mentos. Yeah. You could get 3 of those for 99 cents.
All right. So moving on to the next show in our spring update, Train to the End of the World. So I just wanted to call this one out because it seems like it's got a bit of an eeriness to it. So
yeah.
Seemingly ordinary rural town, something strange is happening to the residents. But Shizuru Chikura is more concerned for her missing friend. Determined to find her, Shizuru and 3 other girls board an abandoned train and travel to the outside world, unsure they'll make it back alive. As they venture toward the unknown, the question looms, what awaits them at the final stop?
I've seen some fans online talking about this first episode, and they are like praising it. Like,
really?
They were like, yeah, this is really good. Like, this
I
is
might have to add it
worth
to my
watch,
list.
So.
All right, we've had enough fun with the spring anime, but we'll keep you posted on any new updates that come about. Up next, for our main story this week, Oops, all questions. We got so many questions from you guys across Twitter, YouTube, Apple Podcasts,
it was insane.
Instagram. Like,
we went from having like no questions pretty much to like,
having all of the
like
questions.
every single post that we put out asking for your questions got like 900 comments.
Yes.
So we're going to work our way through them. Yes. And if we don't answer it, comment it again next week because we look at them and we'll pick them out.
Yep.
But yeah, so all that's coming up. So before we jump in, if you want to write in a question, you can look out for our social media posts at Crunchyroll across all platforms. And you can also leave an exclusively 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Some say that if you leave an exclusively 5-star review, we'll see it.
It's karma.
I also heard angels get their wings if you leave a 5-star. So
Wow.
yeah.
All right. So first question comes from @AnimeSlays567 on YouTube. Thanks, Anime Slays.
Come on now, Boot.
Which anime character has the most emotional backstory?
Oh, that's a good question.
All of them.
Every single one.
They're all going through a lot of trauma. I feel like you had a good one.
Yeah. I said Ed and Alphonse Elric from Full Metal, because it was not only the multiple forms of like trauma and emotional stuff happening, right? Like their mom dying, having to like kind of go on this quest to find their father to get answers, and
losing
then,
their
like,
entire mortal
losing
body.
their mortal bodies.
Yeah,
and
the guilt that Edward feels about his brother
it was
being.
it was some really like dense stuff that the brothers had to go through. So that's definitely my answer.
Yeah, nothing says angst like seeing your mother like crawl towards you with one arm as a.
God, dude. Even when I watch it now, and I always do this thing where like my top favorite animes, like I'll go back and watch them like, you know, every like couple months or so. And every time I watch that one, man, it is just such a like, I can only watch like maybe like 4 or 5 episodes. I have to go watch something else, dude.
The Chimera had the most emotional backstory.
I've got 2 answers for this one.
Okay.
So one, I think for me is like potentially one of the greatest like emotional arcs of all time in an anime, but specifically backstory is Thorfinn from Vinland Saga.
Oh, okay.
Great pick. Great pick.
Just when we talk about despair and like just hit after hit from the very beginning of his life, from when he was little, it's just he's thrust into war and trauma and just it's grueling. The first season of Vinland Saga is really grueling with how it deals with that trauma.
Yeah.
And then the way that you see that evolve, just like how in real life trauma evolves over time in season 2, is so good. I think Thorfinn is one of the greatest written characters ever in any media. I also have to give a shout out to Hyakimaru from Dororo.
Oh, okay.
Which, if you're not familiar with the legend of Dororo, Hyakimaru is basically an individual who's basically like cursed and has their soul sold before they're even born. And there are some moments in that show that are truly full of despair, and they're all kind of pivoted on the levity of Dororo as a character and the relationship the young Dororo has with Hyakimaru as kind of like an older brother figure. So if you haven't seen it, I think it's streaming on Amazon. I highly recommend. It's fairly short.
Yeah.
Also has a great OP from Queen Bee.
Oh, okay, cool. Leah, did you have an answer?
I think you guys picked some of the ones that I would have picked. Like I was right with you, you know, for Brotherhood and Vinland Saga. So
cool.
You're not going to bring up Eren Yeager?
You know what? I was actually going to say it, but then I was like, okay, that's like everyone's just going to say I gratuitously bring it up, which I do. So
which is true.
Yeah, let's talk about Eren. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, can we say that? Is that too much of a spoiler?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, I could say like in the first episode, your mom got eaten.
Yeah.
This is like you watch your mom get like crushed in the giant teeth and jaws of a titan. Like, and that's pretty emotional.
I think like Attack on Titan has a different kind of like deals with the like dealing with death is a certain kind of trauma. And I think that show does it so well because you're always at the precipice of death in this universe.
But it refuses to normalize it.
Right.
And I feel like that's one of the things that I really love about Attack on Titan is death is everywhere at any moment, but it never becomes something that like you cut yourself off from emotionally as these characters. So characters like Hanji and Irvin and Levi carry that weight with them through the whole series.
Even their deaths are honored.
Yeah.
You're right. That is a great. I should have brought it up. I was thinking about it when you guys were talking, and I was like, everyone's going to be like tomato. They're going to give me the old fashioned like comedian hug like off the.
They're going to knight at the Apollo you. Yeah.
Next question comes in from @Ferric_wheel on Twitter. Is Crunchyroll prepared for the many ways season 3 of Konosuba will change the world forever?
I know
Yes.
you
And
are.
I want you to know,
Unhinged and ready.
dear listener / viewer, I am so ready for this show to come back.
Yeah.
So I was working at SoccerCon a couple weekends ago, and this show was actually one of the ones in the premiere room.
Mhm.
And to say, like, because we kind of touched on it before, like how much we kind of just miss these characters being around. When that episode came on, like the entire room was just bursting at the seams. I mean, it was absolutely hilarious. All the slapstick
So
that
you've
you
seen
remember.
it?
Yeah, I've seen episode.
Oh,
So-
I hate that.
Yeah, it's
I want to
It's-
have seen episode 1.
it's dude, it's so good. Like, and you're already a fan of Konosuba, so it's
Sure.
you're gonna have a time. Like, it's super, like, it's in a lot of ways probably more unhinged.
Let's
than
go.
it is.
That's what
So
I'm
they
waiting for.
just dive like all the way into, like, because they don't give you any primer. They're just like, all right, cool.
I saw that clip from, I can't remember if it was season 1 or season 2, where Kazuma is talking to Aqua, and she's talking about like how smart she is and how
Yeah.
godly she is, and he just has this like internal monologue of like, gosh, no matter how much she levels up, her intelligence never improves. So she doesn't even know that she's not the thing that, and I'm just the confidence that this show has with each of the characters
Yeah.
is just,
It's so bold. It's so bold, and I love it.
shout out Darkness. I love Darkness.
Yeah, you'll the second episode you'll have a lot of fun with. It's a very darkness centric episode.
So you've seen the
So,
first 2
You've seen the
episodes.
first 2, yeah. So
Bro,
you'll have
what is going on?
you'll have a lot of fun with that too.
Awesome. Rolling over to Instagram for this one from JKage11. When are they going to collide anime worlds and give us the multiverse we want with Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Dragon Ball?
They already did. It's all the jump games.
Yeah. This one has a pretty easy answer. So
It's all the jump games. They already did.
Yeah. Jump Victory Stars
Yep.
or Jump Stars. I don't know.
It's
J
Jump
Stars.
Stars.
J Stars
Yeah,
Victory.
J Stars. And then Victory, which is a sequel, and then they did Jump Force not
Yep.
too long ago.
You say that, but that was like 6 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. And I know there's another one that's supposed to be coming as well too.
There's a mobile game.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think.
mobile game. Yeah. And that one will have like a lot of the new like Shonen Jump characters
New
in
Jump
it
stuff.
that we haven't gotten. But yeah, no, that's an easy answer. It's already there.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. When was the last truly good crossover episode?
Crossover episode.
My favorite, because we have, I mean, the video games, because they're Shonen Jump video games,
Mhm.
and it's it's dealing with the manga. Like
Mhm.
they are kind of able to do this like cross IP world.
Mhm.
Sometimes it gets super wacky, and I love it. But my favorite has to be Jump Ultimate Stars for the DS,
Yeah. Jump Ultimate Stars are great.
which was only released in Japan, but it's basically Super Smash Brothers, like
Yep.
2D Super
Yep.
Smash Brothers with jump characters, including some like extremely obscure ones.
Yeah. I think if we're gonna just stay on the video game bit, like Tekken, and I believe it was the Naruto game that was out at the time, did a crossover.
Oh,
So they
Was
had
it costumes?
Yeah. So they had like crossover like costumes. That was really fun.
That's cool.
Oh, if we're talking about weird crossovers, the Call of Duty and Attack on Titan. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah,
The Attack
yeah,
on
yeah.
Titan skin?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then basically anything in Fortnite.
About to say, yeah, don't forget the ultimate
yeah,
crossover.
Wow. Okay,
Fortnite.
so I mean, literally, these three mentioned Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Dragon
All
Ball
in
are
Fortnite.
all
Yeah.
in Fortnite.
All
You
in
can
Fortnite.
see Gojo like do the Gangnam Style dance.
It's so weird. It's so
But,
weird. But yeah, no, it's there. It's
I
happened
was-
in
yeah.
manga a few times too.
And
so,
also, yeah, if we're talking about like comics and manga with Deadpool and Chainsaw Man, where he
Yeah.
goes like this.
Oh yeah, that
Yep,
just happened
it
recently.
just happened, yeah.
He does the cone.
Mishima Sensei actually did Heroes, which is all of his properties. So Fairy Tail, Eden Zero,
Zero.
Wave Master.
Nice.
And that came out a couple of years ago.
I'm a big Eden Zero defender.
Yeah, same,
It's a
dude.
good show.
Same.
But like, I'm talking about like Jimmy Timmy Power Hour style. Like, when are we gonna get a special where they go into the animation style of the other world?
I'm more of a That's So Sweet Life of Hannah Montana guy.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Fusion Fall. Cartoon Network Fusion Fall.
I love how we each had a different one from a different kids network.
It's such a dub though. Like people lose their minds for a crossover because it's just like this thing is with that thing. Like, come on, let's get it.
It's
an
anime.
I'm a fan. We just, Godzilla Kong, the ultimate crossover.
Oh, right.
There you go.
From @Memphis, aka FM on Twitter, what are some of the farthest reaching effects of anime some of y'all have seen? Like, what are anime references that you never thought would have happened before the move to mainstream media? First of all, I have to say, legally, this question was not sponsored and not paid for.
Okay.
When Megan Thee Stallion said, "I'm the female Titan, I'm stepping on bitches." In her new song with Glorilla.
That's extremely good.
That line is great. Yeah. Far reaching for me, I think has to, I have two answers for this. I think sneaker culture adapting anime, but probably more so because there's a lot of current NBA players that are really into anime. So like the sneaker culture like just had to kind of fall in line. So that's why you're seeing a lot of the sneaker collabs now. And then also for me, because everything always goes back to wrestling. There's so many. There's like so many like wrestlers that are anime fans, and a lot of their gear is like based on or inspired by, or I know Angelo Dawkins, who is with the Street Profits, is a huge One Piece fan. So his outfit for WrestleMania this year was like inspired by One Piece. And then usually just on his gear, he has like one of the devil fruits. Like,
oh, that's cool.
Like he'll have a devil fruit patch like on his shorts or like on his singlet. Just seeing it like in places that you don't think it should normally be.
Yeah.
Is probably the answer.
I've got two. They're pretty one's really recent. So for all you country music fans out there, Casey Musgraves has a new album. But she has a song on there called Anime Eyes, where she talks about Sailor Moon and Ghibli movies. Yeah. So I was unexpected. It's also a great song. So definitely recommend checking it out. Also, the newest animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of anime references in that Turtles movie.
There's
AOT reference.
I mean, AOT plays like a significant part of the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
Like the entire third act is set in motion because of one of the
Attack
Turtles,
on Titan,
Attack on Titan fandom.
Yeah. I think it was Donnie that was talking about it, right? Yeah.
There's also a Jujutsu Kaisen. There's a Gojo sticker.
Yep. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Donnie's wearing a JoJo's hoodie.
Yep. So
yeah,
it's out there. I love it. It's extremely validating. We've talked about this before, but it's just like incredibly validating to see anime in spaces like that.
Yeah, agreed.
The nerds won.
Shout out Yeji again.
Yeah.
So that does it for our Oops All Mailbag segment this week. I love answering questions. I would do this for like 3 hours straight. Yeah. So maybe we'll do like a special drop one day of just 3 hours of questions. Yeah. And then all the ones we can't answer, we'll just be like, question, nope, can't answer. Question, nope, can't answer that one.
No.
I just love talking about my opinions, even when nobody asked.
But yeah, if you want to write into the Anime Effect, you can respond to our posts on social media at Crunchyroll on most platforms. You can also, and we prefer this actually, I prefer this, if you do leave a exclusively 5-star, that's 5 stars. If you call now, you can place 5 fully formed stars on Apple Podcasts. Leave a comment. We will see it. I can guarantee that we will see it.
All right. We had Oops All Mailbag. We'll do it again. But now it is time for the recommendations. I don't have any horns or anything, but it's what time it's.
Wait, like why are the recommendations? Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant horns.
I thought that at first, and I was like, that's a weird thing to say.
No.
Yeah.
No.
For a second, I thought you were really weird.
Well, yeah, I kind of am, but like, no. No, talking specifically about celebration horns for the recommendations.
Again, I thought of the horns.
Yeah.
I thought of like devil horns.
No, just like old-fashioned doo-doo.
I heard we actually got some recommendations from some listeners and viewers this week.
Ooh, yeah, we did. From CS Science via Apple Podcasts.
See, if you leave a review.
We'll see it. Just finished Friedman. Almost done with Bochi, and Undead Martyr Farce is up next.
Dang. If it was up to me, that would be the big 3.
That's a good pick. This person obviously has good taste.
Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Also, from Not Kristen 13 via Crunchyroll, currently riding the nostalgia train and watching Monster Rancher.
Ooh,
wow.
That's nice.
I haven't thought about Monster Rancher in probably like a week.
That's a long time for you.
Seriously, because I'm always thinking about like, dang, that's like finding the CDs and like, yeah, dude, it was a special time. After which I plan to watch the fever dream that was fighting foodons.
Oh, bro. Wow. Real throwback fighting foodons.
Totally just nostalgia.
It kind of looked like you hit the...
No. I'm not whipping and or nay-naying.
Pass.
For your enjoyment. No.
Said pass. I think this last one, this one's from Ephemeral Dragoon, which is an extremely cool name.
Yep.
On Crunchyroll. Mushishi would be an epic RPG, and it's also a pretty comfy anime.
Oh, okay.
So that was actually in response to the other question we asked last week, which was, if you could turn an anime into a video game, what genre would it be and why?
Yep.
Mushishi is one of my blind spots in anime. I have to watch it.
I haven't seen it either.
I've heard it's very, very comfy and cozy.
But also hits like 2 points because that was the cozy episode too.
That's true.
So. All right. What you guys got?
Ooh, I have so much this week.
Yeah, same. I had to really put it in the sections.
This one is actually a quick recommendation from Queen Bean 1 from last week that I actually checked out. So we're going to go into mini Nick Friedman's Rom-Com Corner really quickly. I don't think we need a song or anything.
You have travel size versions of that?
Yeah, just because I want everyone to know that I have started The Dangers in My Heart, streaming on High Dive. Super wholesome, super adorable. Yep. Love it. I'm about halfway through season 1. Oh, nice. So I'll report back. But my main pick from this week is actually episode 1 of Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, which is it's also streaming on High Dive. It's a new spring show. So the show is basically about this young girl who's in school, and she was just really into like drawing and painting when she was little, and she painted this mural of a big like neon jellyfish in Japan.
Neon jellyfish Evangelion.
You really struggled to get that one out there.
I know, right? It wasn't fully formed in my brain.
But we got there.
Okay.
Man, karma.
And when she's younger, she shows this mural to her friends and is like so excited. And her friends are like, this is the weirdest, dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Gosh.
It sucks. Don't you also think it sucks? And then she's like, breaks and is just like, yeah, this sucks totally. Haha. And you're just like, oh my gosh, this girl has been like suppressing her like drawing and painting capabilities because she wants to appease her friends. It's really sad. But she meets this former idol who's in love with her mural, and it inspired her when she moved to Japan, and they meet each other under happenstance. And it's, from what I can gather, about like their relationship and learning to like be themselves and be open. And the first episode, definitely watch it. It's really good, but it kind of centers around the idol girl, the former idol, convincing the main character to do the art for her music. Because she's a former idol, but she performs anonymously as Jelly based on the jellyfish.
Okay. Callback.
So it's really good. Like I was actually kind of blown away at how good this first episode was. And this is, I believe it's Doga Studio Doga Kobo, celebrating their 40th anniversary.
I love how we have a lot of just anime like anniversaries floating around this year.
50th anniversary.
Ooh,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just check it out. It's great. Cool. It's a standout for this season for sure.
That sounds so cute.
Sweet. All right, y'all. The wrestling soapbox is back.
Oh no.
We're back.
It's like a jump scare.
We're back like we never left. This past weekend was WrestleMania. So this is just the apex of like wrestling for me, right? Because WrestleMania is basically like the wrestling Super Bowl. Not only is it WWE putting on Mania, it's also a lot of other promotions that come around that do shows like GCW, ROH. So everybody's kind of getting their fill of the graps for the weekend. The graps. But of course, the biggest story coming out of this weekend is Cody Rhodes finishing his story, ending Roman Reigns' reign at 1,316 days. He was the WWE Universal Champ for like 3 years. Insane. So
wow. Yeah,
it was a really cool moment. Just the whole weekend was really great. But definitely shout out to Cody, who is also a huge Legend of Zelda fan. And also a couple other shout outs. Trick Williams and Mello had their like big blow off feud match, which was probably like one of the better matches of the weekend as well. And then also the Power Buff Girls who had their match against Damage Control this weekend. So
Mello from Death Note and the Power Buff Girls fought.
I'm just like following like, for sure. Definitely.
But no, it was an absolutely great weekend for wrestling. And it always starts the new season. So like after Mania weekend, like almost the entire landscape of wrestling just kind of resets and they all kind of go into like their new respective like seasons.
Time skip.
Basically, yeah. So they're like, cool. We get to start the new arc, and you know we'll see where it goes from there. But that's my recommendation. So if you guys have the ability, please go watch a couple of the standout matches from the weekend. I will step off of my wrestling soapbox now, and Leah,
I know that real quick. I know that I goof on it a lot, but I do like hearing from you about wrestling.
Oh,
I think it's good that you're passionate about something so
it's
exciting and interesting.
Yeah, man, it's so proper for men, and I'm okay with that. It's great.
Speak for yourself. I love General Hospital.
Oh, you know what? I was a big Young and the Restless watcher for a very long time. So,
I think you literally referenced it last week. On the show,
I did. I think so. Yeah.
As for me, I have been really into this show called Tokyo Vice.
Oh,
which
yes.
I think you specifically would like.
Me?
Because it is about...
Dude, yeah, this show is definitely you, dog.
This guy who goes to work at the Maicho, which is like one of the best newspapers in the world, like well-noted, like Japanese newspaper. And he works the Yakuza beat, sort of by accident.
Yep.
It's about, I think, the late 90s. I think it takes place in like 99. And
Great year.
Based off of
Fantastic
the guy's
year.
actual memour.
Oh, interesting.
So he
That's
actually lived a lot of this. I have yet to read the book, so I don't know how much is dramatized.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool look into like late 90s Japanese culture and like the undercurrent that was going on with the Yakuza right at the end of like the Yakuza reign, like how it was known back then. It's super engrossing. Like it's really good. So especially like journalism lovers like you and me, like I think you'd really like it. It's really good.
What's it on?
HBO
Max.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, shout out to Ken Watanabe. He's in the show.
Yes.
Love Ken
Yes.
Watanabe.
Oh, that's all you had to say.
He was like,
that's
say
all
less.
you
I don't know
Say
why I
less.
didn't lead with that. Because, he is like I think he's like an executive producer on it. But yeah, that's one of my recommendations. And then switching over to video games, since we've been talking about video games a lot, I recently beat The Order 1886.
Whoa,
What a throwback.
Let's talk
know.
about it.
Early PS4 game.
It's because I don't have a
Talk about
PS5 yet, and that's a whole other thing. The thing about this game is it looks so good.
It's crispy.
I think it came out in like 2013, 2015.
24, 2014.
Yeah, it was like it was it was a launch title.
It
for
holds
PS4.
up.
How is a decade gone? Almost
And it's
a
still
decade
one of the
gone
best
by,
looking.
and it's so cinematic.
Yep.
It looks gorgeous. Like the story is really good.
The werewolf still gives me nightmares.
Yeah, the werewolf is crazy.
I have some qualms about like the gameplay style, like the combat, but that's a whole other thing.
The combat is a little sticky, but I'll tell you for sure, like the way that they like use like weapons and technology like in the setting is super cool.
It was extremely
it's almost like the combat controls change in every chapter.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
Like, you remember that big boss battle?
Yeah.
And it's like
I don't. It was
like
10 years ago.
a completely different control set. I'm like, why are we using a completely different set of controls?
I just remember Blimps.
There's a lot of Blimps.
And the werewolf. Blimps and the werewolf.
I do love
that's my
that,
new band name, Blimps and the werewolf.
That's a good one.
Not a bad one.
I do like in this game, like Nikola Tesla was like such a huge part of the game where he like created a lot of your like technology
he created
and
the
stuff.
Weapons.
Yeah.
It's essentially about this order that is in London around the time of the Jack the Ripper murders.
Yep.
And it's based on like their order are descendants of King Arthur. And they like protect England and the world from
supernatural threats,
vampires, werewolves. I think that's it.
Things that go bump in the night.
And
ghouls.
Yeah. there's like a rebellion happening and they're trying to like overthrow the monarchy. So there's like this undercurrent of that. So yeah, it's a really good game. And I think the ending was heartbreaking, but also really cool. And I'm really sad that the studio has sort of moved on to other things because...
And they left the game open too. Like the end was left open where they could like...
Just imagine like the order and then any year.
Yeah.
The order 2150.
Basically.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
The order 10.
Because the people who are like in the order, they're like, they drink black water, which extends their life. Like some of them have been members of this order for centuries.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finished that recently and I really liked it. And if you're into kind of like, it's sort of like Fallout where you're not sure like what you understand like what year it is, but the technology that they have
it throws you off completely.
Yeah. Like they have like electric lightning guns and like
Tesla guns
and like electronic communicators, but it's also 1886.
Right.
But yeah, it's super cool. So if you like games like Fallout that are really story driven, there aren't like dialogue options, but it's a really cool. You'll already like the choices that they make. So yeah, give it a try.
Cool. Thanks for your recs this week, guys. A lot of good stuff to check out.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again for this episode of the Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Crunchyroll Presents The Anime Effect is hosted by me, Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, Leah President. We are executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Shara Morris, Alex Lawless, and... me again. Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero, and our associate producer is Zoe Culkin. Patrick Emile edited and mixed this episode's audio, and Tyler Lucas filmed and edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Tamika Balance-Kalasny.
Once again, as always, we'll be back next week with even more anime to talk about and more opinions.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do.
Not a thing. Except leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. All right, bye guys.
Later days.
And our last question for this week comes from @Memphis, aka FM on Twitter.
Is that like a Tennessee radio station?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Listen to Memphis, aka FM radio.
Whoa, that was a really good radio voice.
Really?
Yeah, man.
That was a radio voice.
Next up, we got me screaming for 12 hours.
Trapaholics.
At the end.
Damn, son, where'd you find that?
Legalize nuclear bombs.